Welcome to Real Dispatch Diaries. Real stories, real loads, all from behind the scenes.
Welcome back to the Real Dispatch Diaries, where we tell the truth about trucking, dispatching, and everything in between.
The truth, the whole truth, and the part folks usually leave out when they're trying to sell you a dream on the internet.
Exactly, because out here, the market is not cute right now. The fuel is high, the rates are acting brand new, and brokers are out here negotiating like they got a coupon code for freight.
And we said not today. Today's episode is all about what fuel costs are doing to the logistics market, how that affects dispatchers and drivers.
Because at the end of the day, dispatching is not just about moving freight. It's about moving freight and still making sure your driver can buy diesel, eat, and not look at their personal settlement like it betrayed them.
That part, if everybody made money except the person driving the truck, we're doing something real wrong.
All right, so let's get into talking about what's happening with fuel and why it matters. So fuel's not just a line item, it drives the entire conversation.
It really does. When fuel goes up, everything else starts acting funny. Martins tighten, shippers get cautious, brokers get creative, and drivers start asking the only question that really matters, which is the load even worth it?
And the answer better be yes, because if the fuel is high and the rate is low, that load is basically emotional damage on wheels.
Exactly. In a tight market, every extra mile matters. Deadhead matters more. Wait times matter. Accessorials matter. A dispatcher can't just look at the base rate anymore and call it a win.
You have to look at the whole picture. If the rate is decent, but the fuel burn is nasty, the detention is questionable, and the backhaul is weak, then it's not a profit. That's a trap with paperwork, basically.
A money trap, a diesel trap, and a whatever answer this broker's call trap. For example, I just had a load that only made $59. That's for real. Like the driver made $59, and that was crazy.
Hey, Kiva, so like what I'd like to do is, if it's okay with the two of you, is go off script a little bit, and it's so hilarious because we're on the actual script. Yeah, go off script and like tell me more about that. Like, you still make money, I guess, right? It's $59.
So,
but like, yeah, if you want to break that down a little bit more for people.
Yeah, and he was it was the driver who actually like brought it up. He said, "This is stupid." He said, "This is stupid because why am I going north to come back south? I didn't book the load." You know what I'm saying? He just brought the observation to me. And he was like, nobody's going to make any money. And I'm just talking from another perspective right now. I'm taking off my dispatch hat and I'm putting on my other hat. And he was like, this is stupid. Like, I'm going 200 miles to the north that come back down south. Dispatch 101 viewers, do not take your driver in a different direction. We do understand that, 200 miles, 150 miles or so is standard for hot shots. It may be different for box trucks because Tandra's a box truck specialist. But for hot shots, you really try to keep your deadhead under 150 miles. But the reason the driver only made the $59 off of that particular load is because he was taking 200 miles out north and then he was coming back down south. And he was factoring in the fuel in the actual rate. So he said, "Oh, this is stupid." And I was like, "You're right, sir." So that's what happened.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, and I think that that's a really good, like right there, there's something that can save owner operators on fuel, is making sure that the pickup location and the drop-off location are in the same direction, I mean,
Yeah.
Besides knowing your cost per mile and your profit per mile, also logistically, if it's all going one direction, that helps in reducing deadhead. For box trucks, I'll say 50 miles of deadhead, like max.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that is almost too much.
Yeah. So when I'm dispatching, even if the driver has to sit for a minute, and I try to minimize that as much as I can. That is because I am not, and I repeat, I am not going to run this person hundreds of miles and losing hours of drive time on their drive clock just for the sake of getting a rate, right? So, you know, sometimes my drivers will get a little bit tight with me. Like I'm sitting, I'm like, yeah, but the only other thing you could do is go 6 hours to the west or 4 hours to the east or 5 hours to south to get something. And so I'm not willing to, you know, take advantage of you, put those miles, those unneeded miles on your truck or whatever. So for us who are running, you know, hot shots primarily, I think we have to take into consideration the wear and tear on the truck. A lot of dispatchers don't really care about the weight. I do. You know, I try to keep all of the loads, you know, light, like 5,000 to 7,000 pounds, because you got to think about the wear and tear on the truck, which is ultimately, you know, the owner operator's responsibility to get fixed. So that's the truck and the trailer. So you keep the weight light, you keep the rates up, you try to stack as much as you can, and that seems to be the best way to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you for that, Kiva.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so a lot of new dispatchers hear market is down and immediately panic, but a market shift is not a death sentence. It's just typically a signal for something.
That's right. It's telling you to get smarter, more selective, and way less emotional.
This is where people mess up. They start chasing every load like it owes them money. Then they accept bad freight because they're nervous. Nervous dispatching gets very expensive. And I've been there, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, I think we all have. That should definitely be on a t-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, nervous dispatching is expensive. And I am a firm believer that anything that you do in fear, in doubt, in anxiety, if you have those feelings behind anything you do, it's probably not going to be a good decision, because you're not making the decision from a place of strength. So I've come across a lot of box truck drivers that felt like, oh, I just need to keep my truck moving. And really, you don't. Like, controlling your nervous system is probably going to be a huge, not probably, definitely is going to be a huge asset to you as a business owner, to understand that you don't have to just keep your truck moving. Sometimes for your sanity and for your profits, it's best for you to sit if you can't get the rates that you need. And with fuel being what it is, I think that a lot of owner operators are going to awaken to the fact that they have to know their numbers, they have to know their costs, and that they have to stop making emotional decisions.
Yeah, and when you negotiate from a standpoint of weakness, brokers can smell it. They know you're desperate, and then they're going to lowball you like that. They know when you're desperate. They know when your truck is sitting. They know when you're just trying to keep the wheels moving, and they'll capitalize off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you need to know your numbers as well. What does your truck, need per mile? What's the minimum to cover fuel, per driver pay, maintenance, and still leave profit on the table?
All right, ladies, now let's get into the fun part, negotiation, because even in a tough market, there are leverage points.
Yes, and the first one is simple. It's time sensitivity.
Yeah, so we did touch on this earlier too. Like, I know Kiva said hot shots are different with 150-mile deadhead range. But really the spot market itself runs on urgency. So you do want to be as close to that load as possible, which is good for your fuel costs anyway. Yeah.
I think this is a good segue into, or maybe we can discuss it on a future episode, just the differences between our niches in terms of exactly what we're talking about, Tandra. Like, is the spot market a little bit different for box trucks than it is for hot shots? And I think that Sunshine may also be doing some dry vans as well. I'm just strictly hot shot, but I want to really take some time to look at and analyze the differences between spot market rate negotiations, because your routes are a lot shorter than ours. So that was just a quick sidebar.
Okay.
But back to what we were saying, viewers. If the broker says this needs to go today, then the price should match the urgency, right? So it shouldn't be priced like from 2018. For example, I give you an example. I just saw a load the other day going from Georgia to South Carolina or North Carolina. $2,300. I was like, now that's what I'm talking about. It wasn't heavy. The distance was not, it wasn't any more than a 5 or 6 hour drive one way. So those are the types of things, those are the types of rates that, that sounds like it needs to go today type of rate.
What was the pro on that? I mean, like the con on that rate? Because like, where did you find that rate? What low board did you find that rate?
It was just a rate con that a colleague shared with me, like, oh, look at this. This is only a few hours away and it's $2,300. I was like, yes.
I think with those though, those aren't, it's very rare you find a load like that per se on a load board. Like that's something I feel like you actually have to have connections with and stuff like that. Or if it is on a load board, it's gonna go in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Well, I didn't ask. I didn't dig into it, but perhaps I'll circle back around and ask, because you're absolutely right. I'm still, Chandra, thank you for, all of the tips that you've given us in terms of, some back office stuff to help us dial in faster and more efficiently. But that's still the biggest struggle that I have. I have some contacts, but I don't know. I need help on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still like, truthfully, like, it's like, I'm still like I like load boards. They're a great tool, but I'm still on the side of go old school. Like, if your dispatcher isn't like reaching out to companies for you, then you should be doing that for yourself, because that in itself is going to save you so much money. Being under an established company that gives you a specified lane, and it does take time. It does take time, but if you look at medium-sized, smaller companies, and you really start to understand how freight moves, and you target those small companies, you will eventually land yourself a contract, and that really makes the difference. Having that one or two established shipper work with you with your company directly, like it really makes the difference. So but it's a lot of work, and like Cassie's right. It's you don't come across those loads very often. It is like a we need it today type of thing, because everything on the load board goes quick. It's like there are tools to make it more efficient, but generally there's so many people fighting over the same couple little loads. So it's kind of like, I feel like I'm rambling here.
You're not rambling.
Yeah, it's just again, this dream is being sold that you could just jump in, get on a low board, and just make a bunch of money, and it's like, it's just not true. You're going to be working your butt off. You're going to be testing your faith, and you're going to have to try multiple different strategies almost at the same time. Get yourself a dispatcher, and also learn how to dispatch yourself, and go out and reach out to companies. Like, it is a real freaking grind. Working a job is way easier, just so you know.
I think that you have to keep in mind, we're all independent, right?
Yeah.
There are dispatch conglomerates out there with all of the fancy back office tools, fast dialing tools, and they have those same relationships. So relationships are key. You have to have relationships, and then when you do have those relationships, having your truck where they need, where they need it to be at that time. So those things have to get together like a perfect marriage. Sometimes
it has to be aligned perfectly.
The
second leverage point is deadhead. If your truck is empty and already positioned near the pickup, that's useful. But if you need to travel a long distance just to get there, the mileage should absolutely be reflected in the rate. So if you're going over 150 deadhead, something needs to be applied to the rate that's being negotiated to cover that additional deadhead. I'm not saying like if it's 80 miles deadhead, you need to make sure you're, negotiating that in the rate. Sometimes you have to be kind of smart with what you're asking, but like if I say anything over 200 plus in deadhead, yeah, that needs to be equated for in the rate that's being negotiated.
But a broker is gonna definitely not want to do that, and they will hang up the phone and they'll try to find somebody that's closer. So you also have to. That's why relationships are important as well.
I agree.
All right. The third leverage point is lane consistency. If you can create and repeat business, just like Chandra said earlier, that's leverage. And the way that I've been able to, that I work on that is like once the load is delivered, it's on time, I circle back around to the broker and say, hey, keep us in mind for the next time. So that's a tip. So always circle back around to the broker and say, load is here on time. Think about us in the future. Call me first.
Period. I like that. Not the truth coming out this early.
Clear communication and on-time delivery and pickup. Those things build trust. And trust opens doors for better pricing because, they know you're going to be there and they're not just chasing the load, you're building the lane. It's like Tamara said earlier.
Yeah. And then the fourth leverage point, market visibility. Know what similar freight is paying, what the current lane patterns look like, and don't accept the first number just because someone said that's all we have. They can always do more. So yeah, shoot for the stars.
Yeah, that phrase should come with a warning label.
Tell me about it. That's all we have. Is not always a final answer. Sometimes it's an opening move.
Now, let's talk about the part that actually matters in a dispatch business, which is making sure the driver still profits.
Yes, because a load can look good on paper and still have the driver broke. Like most drivers out there. We know you're not making any money. We see what you do. You have horrible habits. But we're here to help.
Yeah. But then everybody acts all surprised, like the driver just didn't spend 2 days, 3 fuel stops, and a half a tank of patience just to make $59.
No, for real. That is not a paycheck. That is a participation trophy. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Here's a strategy for you. Make sure that the truck is profitable before it even moves. Just know your numbers. Stop being anxious. Do some breathing techniques before you look at a load. So that way you're not making decisions from fear.
You said something that's very key. Don't sound anxious. Sound is cool, confident, and talk evenly, quickly, and efficiently. And that will show your experience. So that leads you into fewer bad mouths, smarter load sequencing, better lane choices. And especially if your driver is going all the way out of the way for cheap freight, you making their business leak like a sieve. If their business is leaking, your business is doing bad as well.
Yes, busy is not profitable by default.
Yeah, busy is not profitable by default.
Don't ignore fuel surcharge opportunities, especially in this market. If the load allows for it, if the broker agrees to it, and if it's in lane, then that surcharge matters. And right now, since the country's been at unrest, fuel surcharges have been popping up just about every load.
That's bananas. Like it's like everything trickled down to the driver. You know what I mean? Like just like everything trickled down to the consumer. Know your numbers and know when to walk away. I feel that our shows are going to become redundant because redundancy builds consistency, and that's what you need to hear the same stuff over and over again. Know your numbers.
That's an underrated profit strategy. Not every load deserves your truck. You have to stand on that.
Or your driver's blood pressure. I think for any of our viewers that are out there, just like my co-host just said, it's going to be a lot of redundancy here. And redundancy is not by happenstance. It's so that you can use these strategies to build your business. And that's why we're here. We've learned from our mistakes and we're continuing to learn. So we just want to put y'all up on real game. We're not, showing you that we off at 10:30 in the morning. We going out to lunch with our sister or our friends. We're not around here, just showing you the checks. Like, it's a lot of work that goes into it. And I applaud the success of, our counterparts. But I think that this is the element that most of the people who broadcast on social media don't show you. So this is the value in the Real Dispatch Diaries. So now we're going to transition into dispatching with strategy and not emotion. Tandra, take it away.
This is what I can say about dispatching with strategy. I think this strategy, just know where your truck is needed. Like, you really have to understand, like, Kiva has hot shots. Understand what kind of freight hot shots move, what kind of companies, and where they're actually located, and move your truck in that area. That's the best decision you can make for your business. Let go of, like, I've worked with drivers that just have too many entitlements, they have like this very perfect plan of what they think is going to work in a market they can't control. So I say stop resisting against the market itself and understand what it provides. Like, really get curious about, where can I do best? Where can my piece of equipment do best? And go to that place instead of trying to force your will on the market that don't care about you. Like, that's going to run with or without you. So, stop trying to change the market. Change your decision makers. That's all I can say about this segment.
Yeah.
Yes, and you start seeing a truck sit for too long and suddenly every load starts looking like a blessing, when in disguise it could be, that truck's biggest downfall is to take the wrong load.
Tell the truth. Who hadn't been there? Like, we've all been there, but that's how you end up taking a bad load, with a straight face and a fake smile. I know I've been there, been had, for example, got a $2,600 load a while back, and it was not supposed to be a dedicated load, but then I was like, ooh, this is not taking up much space. He can get this. And I had in my mind that I could just like stack. And then when the driver got there, they put it in the middle and then said it was a dedicated load. And so I dropped the ball on that one. That won't happen again.
Listen, learn.
Yeah, listen, learn.
Which means you need to set a standard, a line in the sand. If the rate falls below your, threshold that you and the driver agreed upon, or if the deadhead is too high, if the delivery window is too tight, or if the backhaul just doesn't make sense, you can say no.
Yeah, that's how you build business discipline, and discipline is what keeps the dispatcher reputation strong.
So let me say this because it needs to be said. Some brokers are always talking about rates like they're doing you a favor.
Yeah, they'll say this is a really good paying load, and then offer enough to cover food, not even food, but just the fuel and a vibe. That's it. And I'm like,
yeah, they do try to make it seem like they're doing you a favor, and they really do. I had a broker tell me that 150 miles deadhead was cool because it's better for a truck to be running empty because that saves you on fuel. And I just politely told him to watch his computer training again because he has no clue what he's talking about. Whatever online training his job gave him,
he wasn't paying attention.
Just rewatch it. Like, that's so. Like, I think that, real talk, I think that as an owner, you should understand that you have as much right to be at that table as the broker. So don't allow them to tell you, like, yeah, this is what's good for you. It's like, oh no, I have something you want too. Like, we're equals at this table at this point, so that's it. If you come in knowing that, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and then they'll always act shocked when you counter back to their right. It's like, get out of here.
It's almost like they know that a lot of people are trying to start their own dispatching thing, and they're gonna try their hands. So when you come back at them, they'll fall in line. They'll fall in line.
Yeah.
We also need rates that respect the truck, the driver, and the fact that inflation is still doing gymnastics on everybody's budget.
And a stomp the yard show. and a 12 round boxing match. Championship.
For real.
Yeah,
Like the wrong people are eating.
They just got a gift from Qatar, a whole plane from Qatar, and taxpayers pay for it, and then they're gonna take it home with. They're gonna take the toy home with them when they leave.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. It's not, but it is funny. Let's leave listeners with some real tactical leverage points that they can use. What do you have for them, ladies?
Yes. So number one for me, always know your floor. Before you call or accept the load, know the lowest rate you can take and still keep the business healthy.
Number two, lead with value. If your truck is positioned well, your communication is sharp, and your service is reliable, say that. Don't just ask for more money. Explain your why.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. You tell them a story. Okay. Number three, use deadhead and timing as pricing tools. If the load requires extra positioning or awkward delivery timing, that should increase the rate.
Number four, ask for the backhaul angle if you know that the load helps you position for a better lane. Use that knowledge strategically, but don't let them assume that means you'll hold cheap just because it benefits the next move. Like, no, still stand your ground. So let them know, a workaround, but definitely ask them if they have any loads coming back. Act like you're doing them a favor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think number five is the most important, because without number five, we wouldn't be in business at all. Protect your driver. Protect that profit of that driver. Because again, if that driver is not winning, we wouldn't be in business.
Number six, document everything. What the brokers paid, how they behaved, what lanes worked, what loads cause headaches. The data becomes your power.
Yep. And at the end of the day, this market is tough, but tough markets reward smart dispatchers.
And smart dispatchers don't just chase freight. They build systems, protect driver profit, and negotiate like they've got standards.
Because we do have standards.
High ones at that.
So don't respond in panic. Respond with a strategy.
Exactly. And make the numbers work, protect your driver, and don't be afraid to walk away from a bad freight.
Because the no today can turn into a better yes tomorrow.
Amen.
And that brings us into what we'll be doing for next week's episode.
Yes. So next time on the Real Dispatch Diaries, we're talking about how dispatchers can build a sustainable business in this current market.
How to create stability, structure, and systems that keep your business moving even when the market is sideways.
Yeah, we might talk about that, or we might talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, because we did that episode 5 for real.
Yeah, we'll just talk.
Yeah. So,
this has been the Real Dispatch Diaries with Tandra,
Cassie,
and Kiva.
Stay profitable,
stay strategic,
and keep it real. Like, if we give them the things that would take them down quick, if they don't get a hold on quick, fast and in a hurry, I think that's more valuable than anything.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah. Consistency and redundancy, it's absolutely necessary. It's like
I heard
You
I heard what you said. I was like, bruh, I'm feeding the dogs. I'm trying to get ready for work.
Oh, yeah.
So, one more thing, and I know we all got to go.
Yeah.
The last line where it says stay profitable, stay strategic, and keep it real. I think one of us say one, the other one say the other one, and the other one say the third one. Whenever we have a closing that's like that.
I was waiting for Tandra, and I was like, you know what? Today's her day.
Oh, but she been off. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I'm just gonna take over.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just hanging out and chilling. Like yeah.
That coffee high coming down, ain't it?
It is. But I'm about to go get another cup. Like fuck it, And
I'm on my second cup right here.
Yeah. Kiva, it's amazing to me what you do before I even wake up. Like
I've been up. Oh, I need to take my ribs off in about 30 minutes. They're on the smoke. I got 2 slabs of baby back
ribs
on the smoker.
Oh, that's also good.
Yeah, I done folded clothes. I done did all kinds of stuff. Cooked breakfast, everything.
Period. I need to start doing like that.
That's awesome. I have some ribs this week. No, I had ribs last week, but we did it in the oven. The oven ribs.
Yeah. Well, I think it was because like my sleep pattern. What was that? Thursday night, I stayed up all night Netflix, and I was binge watching TV, and I took a shower, got to bed like about 3:30, and I probably fell asleep like around 5, and I was back up. And so yesterday I was like determined not to go to sleep. So when I went to sleep last night, it wasn't even like 9 o'clock. It was like right at 9. And I was up at 2. Like I had been sleeping so I got up around 2:30. Everybody around here was walking around by like 3 o'clock. Me, my mama, and my husband. I'm just walking around the house.
Oh wow. Damn, like what?
I cleaned out my closet. I didn't clean it out. I straightened my closet because it was a hot mess. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So when we gonna do this again? Let's get it on the calendar now. What you looking like? Let me check my calendar.
It has to be in July.
That's fine. My birthday Friday. I'll be 55 years old. I can get an AARP card for real.
Yo, happy early birthday. That's awesome.
Thank you. It is awesome, the wisdom, the knowledge, and all of that. But you know,
because I'll be honest, Kiva, I see Cassie's probably, in my opinion, the chillest of the 3 of us. And I would say I'm in the middle, and then you are the one with the energy and the excitement, so I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm just saying that I think that when this show is getting more viewership, that if we have to get more structure, that you should be kind of like the one that leads it, because you're naturally funny, and you know how to engage people, and it just seems to come pretty naturally for you. So yeah,
that just
you do a great job of being like the host and the director. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. You are definitely the brains and the tech behind the operation. I appreciate that.
Wait, I didn't hear the first part. What happened?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that because in my mind, I'm like, this show's gonna get more viewers. We're gonna get more structured, and when we get to a certain level, that I'd be cool with. Obviously, it's a group discussion with Kiva taking and being the host and being like the leader, if you will, of the show. I mean, we don't have egos here, so we know that it's not like that. But for viewers, so that they know what's going on, have her lead, because she's naturally knows how to engage, is very funny, can hold an audience attention.
I agree with that also, because she's the only one that's actually actively dispatching, while me and you, we're walking into other lucrative business that tie into dispatching. So me with the taxing for the truckers, you know what I'm saying? We could also be like the sidekicks with Kiva, because of the fact that we're bringing 2 other additional sources that they're going to need that dispatchers can't do or don't want to do, because that's more work. Because you imagine dispatching and doing taxes and doing, the revenue building that you're doing, analytics,
Yeah, yeah, cool. So we're on the same page. I was just saying that, like, trying to speak it into existence, really just like, when we get to that level, like, yeah, cool.
Also, I think a plus is like I'm in my 50s, you like in your late 30s, late. You said 30s, right?
I'm 39 right now.
Yeah, so you the same age as my baby sister, and then she like in her 20s, so late 20s. So it's like
I think she's 30.
you 30.
I think she's 30.
30.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I turned
think-
31 this year.
okay, but I think that we're from three different brackets, 3 different generations almost, and I just think that will broaden our viewership opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you are, retire, if you're a career changer, I think that I can represent that group. It's not too late to restart, jumpstart, reboot, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
So yeah, whatever y'all want to do, but we still, you know what? God got us. We don't pray every morning for nothing.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true. Y'all want to close on a prayer? Cool beans.
Sunshine, you come and pray because you want to see how you put your new Bible skills to work. Come on back over here and pray.
I'm sorry, hold on. I had to feed these fucking dogs. 1 second.
Yeah,
Wait, what'd you say?
It's your turn to pray. Pray us out.
Okay. All right, here we go. Lord Heavenly Father, I thank you for another successful day of bringing all 3 of us ladies together, building this sisterhood, making it stronger, making it more prosperous. I thank you again for having Tandra come in a whole different mindset to see another personality trait of hers. I thank you for bringing Kiva along, having us see her husband just getting more acclimated and built into the family background. I thank you, Lord, for everything that you've done for us. Keep us together, keep us whole, keep us positive, keep us on our forward path. And I want to say, I hope you ladies have a great, wonderful week. Amen.
Amen.
All right, ladies, have a good one. I love you.
All right.
All right. Love
we didn't
you. Love you guys.
Pick a date. Let's text a date. We'll
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yeah,
right,
I'll make it work. All right, later.
Later.
Closing the book on today's entry, stay profitable, stay protected, and email us your stories below.